Welcome back. It's the conversation on Morning Spring. This morning we'll be focusing on the oil and gas sector. Uh, and on the show today, we'll be talking about the twists and turns of a long-awaited project. That's the Port Harcourt Refinery commencing operations finally after a series of disappointments. And, the refinery was set to have commence operation in December 2023, but then there was a postponement. That's the initial postponement because that deadline was missed and it was postponed to January 2024. Early January 2024, that came, and there was another postponement for mid-January 2024. That particular date was missed, citing testing and readiness issue, and there was a third postponement, and that will take place in March 2024. But the NNPC's Group Chief Executive Officer, Mele promised that the refinery will commence operations in 2 weeks, 2 weeks from that time. And by April, we were set to commence, to get the announcement of the commencement of the refinery in Port Harcourt, but then there was another fourth postponement in April, a fifth one in July, another one in August, and September. There was supposed to be the commencement of operations of the Port Harcourt refinery, but we didn't see that happen. But this is November. This is November. I was about to say December. This is November. And finally, we got the announcement that the Port Harcourt refinery has finally began operations after 6 postponements. Nigerians are really patient people, but they say better late than never. Right now, we watch this video of the Group Managing Director of the NNPCL, Mele giving a speech at that commencement ceremony, brief commencement ceremony at the Port Harcourt Refinery in Rivers State. Let's watch this, we'll come back.
I will also add again that we're grateful to our country for giving us the opportunity to serve and to see that energy security can be in control of the hands of our countrymen as we continue to grow our capacity in this location and outside. But this all won't work except we have leadership support and encouragement and patience. And that's why on behalf of all of us in NNPC, our contractors, our regulators, and all of us would like to thank Mr. President for having this deep patience and support for this, bringing us to this day. And it is possible when you have leadership support to get things done. And when you have a focused leadership on a thing that must be done, as they have demonstrated to all of us, we are here celebrating this success. And many more will come. This country will be great. There is great hope in this country, and I will support Mr. President's initiative to get this done effectively. Thank you very much.
That was Mele, the Group Managing Director for NNPCL, giving a speech there and also thanking the people and the presidency for the support and help so far. That is the Port Harcourt refinery located at Eleme in Port Harcourt with 210,000 barrels per day refining capacity. But according to reports, we have just the 60,000 barrels per day refinery capacity at work, while the 150,000 barrel per day capacity will commence later on. But to help us with this discussion this morning, help us point, shine light in different areas of the conversation this morning. We have joining us virtually from the ancient city of Ibadan, Jose ASEDA, who is an investment strategist and financial analyst. Good morning to you, Mr. ASEDA. Thank you so much for joining us.
Good morning. Happy to be here.
All right, you're happy to be here, but are you happy that the Port Harcourt refinery finally has kicked off after a series of postponements? What was your reaction and your mood like when you got that announcement?
Honestly, I was indifferent to it.
You were indifferent.
I wasn't excited. I'm telling you the truth. It's just like any other news just passing by, um, because um, for me, I don't know. I'm just me. I don't know what other people may be feeling, may feel about it. Uh, well, of course, for me, what will have been exciting for me will have been that refinery does not belong to NNPCL, that refinery is owned by a private organization.
Okay.
That would have been exciting for me. I will have said yes. Okay, so that said, well, because again, maybe because I know what I know, so it's a bit I don't want to dampen some other people's emotions. I know the way you're sounding, maybe you are excited that it's happy that the refinery is particularly online now. Well, for me, because what I know is that, look, whatever has been spent into that refinery to make it work,
and if I may ask,
not.
what do you know?
Now that's what I'm about to get to.
Okay.
Whatever has been spent to that refinery to make it work, it's not worth it. It's not the actual amount, and our system is riddled with corruption, and the people of this country, have got to pay for it.
What do you mean, Mr. ASEDA? What do you mean by whatever has been spent on that refinery is not the actual amount? You might want to explain.
We know this is how it is now in Nigeria, and we cannot be hiding from it. If the government, let's start from, because I discussed this thing some couple of days ago with some other people, and I think with some of my friends. The economy, the Nigerian government, this Tinubu's government, this administration, for example, is mixing things up, and we know the reason why they are mixing things up. It is not ignorance, but more like because of some other consideration, which is up to me, they have to prove to us that it's not, which is corruption. Okay, for example, the CBN just increased again, but maybe lower than the increase is lower than before 25 basis point, as opposed to maybe 500, 100 basis point. But nonetheless, there's an increase in the MPR, which is the interest rate. Okay, so that is bringing to us, or giving the economy, even higher cost of finance. Now, the purpose of them doing that, according to one of my colleagues, said, no, it is based on CBN data. Well, fine, I know it has to be data driven, but you have got to interpret your data in a certain way. Okay, so or you can interpret your data in a certain way to fit what you want to do. Okay, but the truth of the matter is that if you are saying there's too much liquidity in the market, which is why you are increasing the interest rate, so why is it that government is using their own money to build a refinery at whatever price that they are calling it? Do you understand? So if you're saying that, look, okay, there's too much liquidity in the market, then you should give it to a private sector to go and use their money to fund the building of the refinery. Do you understand where I'm coming from? That refinery is just one of other key projects that this government is doing that is requiring a lot of money. And that's again, that's what you do when you are in a situation where there is no liquidity and you want to improve liquidity. Then you spend. There will be increased government spending. You see, so that's where I said, okay, what I know is not making me to be excited like other people would be. Then again, as out of yesterday, we heard from the marketers of petroleum products in Nigeria, Petroram or something, what they call
Petron.
Now they are complaining that the product from that refinery is 75 naira more expensive than that of Dangote's refinery. Now, you know, we've talked about the Dangote refinery, that, okay, fine, that Dangote refinery, we need it. Okay, at least, of course, according to CBM data, 40% of forage demand is for petroleum products. Now, you take that off the table of dollar demand, then the value of naira will strengthen. Okay, so that's why we would like to have Dangote refinery. So we're excited that it's online, and then it will replace, and then forget about all the politics that's going on. Let's just put that one aside for now. You know, so but then again, we also said, and I've said this before, that refinery was their cost structure. NMPC is in a position as a regulatory body, or you know, what do you call this other company, MN, whatever. It's also a subsidiary of NMPC, who are supposed to be regulatory body for the petroleum product of the downstream sector. You know, they ought to be able to do their job and call Dangote to the table and say, okay, what is your cost structure? What is your cost like? And we have said this before, that you see, the Dangote refinery is perhaps the most efficient refinery in the world.
In the world.
And they are, yes, the most efficient in the world. You know, has the longest train in the world. They say it, in terms of the volume is processing a day, may not be the biggest, but in terms of what it can do, it is the biggest. So, which means that the cost of refining a unit volume of crude is far lower than what others are going to be doing, which means that the price that should come from that refinery should be, of course, definitely lower than 1,000 naira or 970 something. Oh, you understand?
Yeah.
We should be having, I believe that refinery can deliver. Can deliver at least. I mean, at most can deliver up to maybe between 350 and 250, if not less. I'm telling you, per liter of petroleum product. You understand? But you see, NNPC is not doing his job, and their subsidiary not doing their job, because they keep playing cat and mouse with Dangote refinery. And so there are all kinds of things going on. Do you think
this is politics at play?
Yes, and now they are coming up with their own refinery, and they are selling at 75 naira, at 75 naira more.
Higher.
You see, if it is government refinery, then maybe they should be able to give us something less than what Dangote refinery is giving us. If government is involved in that space, do you understand? So these are the issues. So I'm not excited. I can't be excited when I know what I know.
Right. You know, that's why we keep asking that question. What do you know? And you have, you know, spoken to some of it. Now, you know, the excitement really came with the Dangote refinery. You know, oh, we have an indigenous company now who, just like you said, very efficient, that can roll out so many things at once, you know, through crude oil now. But then everything that went with it, the needless back and forth, the NNDPRA trying to throw the boss at the time, trying to throw the entire company to say they are producing substandard. Dangote had to do a reporter. In fact, one would think Dangote, you know, if you know him before, very reserved, are conservative, you rarely see him speak. But since he came on board, I think he has been attending every interview necessary, speaking, because possibly he feels some forces want to run him out of that business. In fact, at some point, he had to say that if he knew, you know, that the thing would be like this, possibly he wouldn't have started a $20 billion project ab initio, because many persons say told him at the time, tighten up. You are playing at the bigger stage right now. This is not the sugar level. With due respect to those who do that, the flour level kind of business is the big boys level. So whatever is coming with it, you have to earn it. So at a point, it appears, we spoke to you at the time, the exam fizzled down, especially with the price, 1,000 naira, 990, 970, and all of that. Because Nigerians, I must tell you, Mr. Ashida, were thinking maybe we're going to be buying it at 400 naira, 500 naira, averagely, because it's within. We don't have to push it out and import it in again. Now that we have this Port Harcourt Refinery, and it is, out of the two, the one with the smaller capacity is the one that we have been told, that has started work again right now. And you are saying you are not excited because of what you know. Now, for Nigerians, the excitement seems to be fizzling out. It appears that the one from the government might even be more costlier. So, the opaque nature of the oil and gas sector, many persons have spoken about it, but it's like that's the convention in that particular place. The more you look, the less you see. Where does this put Nigerians? Because we're excited, at least maybe something in the region of the same price as Dangote. And look at this. Just like a week ago, Dangote said they reduced 20 naira, from 990 to 970. And 4 days later or 5 days later, the Port Harcourt Refinery came on board. And one would say, is this a market force thing? They had information that the Port Harcourt Refinery was coming on board, so they had to do something. They called it, something given, to appreciate the support of Nigerians, all of these things. Now, this thing's playing out. Nigerians in Itaoloko in Oshogbo here, somewhere in Oje in Ibadan, somewhere in, Kalgo in Kebbi State, somewhere, they are not interested in all of these things. They just want to have the product. They want to buy it as cheap as possible, and they want it to be available whenever they drive in. They should be able to pick it up. All these things that we are seeing, the price, the volatility, the opaque nature, I want to ask you as a Nigerian, is this just what it is? Is this what we have? We are the ones that will just adjust to it. You don't see anything that will show the excitement for Nigerians, if you know what I'm talking about. Because some don't understand this grammar that we are talking. They just want to buy it and they want it to be cheap. Are we stuck with this thing that looks like the political angle to everything in this sector?
Okay, you know what? For Nigerians, it is difficult to actually, put these things in words. But for Nigerians that are looking to have a better, supply of, better price for their petroleum product, I have to be very frank with you, because we're looking at other parts of the world and we're looking at other governments around the world, including the ones that our people like to reference or copy, as it were, to determine how they govern, or to give excuse, or this is why, because people are doing it, this is why we are also doing this. And you want to look at the U.S. economy. You have some weeks before the November 5th election in the U.S., the U.S. government reduced the interest rate significantly in that country. And why do they do that? Why did they leave? Why was it high before? And now they are going for election. People are talking about the economic situation in the country. It was a major talking point, a major debate argument by the then opposition, the Republicans, and of course the Biden government responded by reducing. You understand? By reducing. Now you look at the UK government, the same thing. The same thing they had to do. They reduced it. I joked at that time that, Cardoso too is going to reduce their own, and guess what? They kept increasing it. And so what we're looking at is that the people, the government in those climes responded to their people. And I was just watching a CNN yesterday, and talking about people traveling for the holidays, and then the flight cost it has been increased by 3%, and that was a big deal. So by how much did our own increase? We're talking more than 75%, more than in some cases 100%. And it's still increasing. So they are talking 3%, but at the same time, they are like, okay, yeah, the gallon of gas, of petrol, has reduced, so that people want to travel by road. Yeah, they are saying, oh, congratulations to you, though. So the cost is reduced. So what we are seeing is a responsive government. What our people need is a responsive government. And this government has not shown responsiveness. So that's why I said, I don't know what to expect.
Mr. Sheda, sorry, the opaque nature of the oil and gas sector and everything, the way it's been run, it didn't start with President Bola Tinubu. It has always been. Like, you can't really pinpoint anything. So I'm not sure it's an administration thing. What really happens? Is that the way it has been designed?
You see the situation in the oil and gas sector, it's not today, but it has always been. But Nigerian people have never had it this bad under any government in Nigeria. And that can only be attributed to this government. Do you understand where I'm coming from?
Because they're the one in power now.
Sorry?
Because they're the one in power now.
Before this one in power, we have always had that issue with the oil and gas sector. And so it is not the oil and gas sector, the opaque nature of that industry, that is the cause of hardship and economic woes for Nigerians. Okay? It's not the cause of having high cost of gas, of petroleum products in Nigeria. No, that's not the cause. It is the policy of this government. Now, what we are saying is that, look, this government needs to show responsiveness, needs to respond to the call of the people. Now, even remember that personally, I don't trust IMF and the World Bank, but you see, IMF and the World Bank have been dropping the hint that things is not going the way they should with regards to these policies. Now, like 2 weeks ago, they came out publicly and very clearly said that these policies, this reform is not working. They were very clear about it. And the reason why, the reason why this thing cannot work or it's not working is because you are putting other constraints on whatever thing that you are doing, apart from the fact that you started unprofessionally by not understanding or not seeking to understand the issue in the Nigerian space, in the Nigerian economy, especially the oil and gas sector, before you decide to yank off the subsidies. Okay, so this thing is not working. The IMF have come out clearly and said that it is not working. Now, what do? We need to find a way around it. One of the way around it is to actually delve into the opaqueness of the oil and gas sector, to remove it, so that you can have some openness, and then you can have some sanity brought into that sector or brought into that space by way of policies or change of guard. You understand? That's what we needed to do, and this government is not responding in that direction. And I'm sorry for Nigerian people, because Nigerian people have had their opportunities in the past. They have seen things and they have not responded appropriately. You understand? We need to start holding our government to account through the election, and That's what we really need to do. Because you cannot tell me, and I've looked at the data, the Nigerian people actually voted for President Tinubu. They gave him the mandate. He has the mandate of the people. So why will you give the mandate to somebody that do not have, or that do not? Because we looked at this. I'm talking from my perspective as an investment expert. We look at the economic plans that they put out as part of their manifestos, and I can tell you, and I did say it before, that their plan is not going to work. So now it's not working now. IMF has come out to say it's not working, and they have not come to. They've been saying, we're going to remove subsidy, we're going to float naira, and we looked at, okay, what are the other things that there's nothing there. The only person that has a resemblance of a good economic plan is Atiku. Now, it's not because I'm not a friend of Atiku. You understand? Even though I have friends who are PDP members or seniors who are PDP members, that is not my concern. I'm only looking at issues as per the investment and economic climate to allow for investments in Nigeria, because I'm an investment banker. Okay, so we looked at it, and and we can tell the reason why his plans seem to be better than the other two, which resembled themselves, or maybe a copy of themselves, is because, of course, he was in a government. He was a vice president before and the head of the economic team of that government. And that government, we look back and we say, oh, that is the best government Nigeria has ever had as pertain to the economy. Okay, and there are data to show for it.
Mr. ASEDA,
I know that I know that the spokesman of this administration, Mr. Adebayo, or something, I know he goofed by saying that at that time that he had consistently high petroleum prices. I remember very clearly, because then I used to work with Nigeria Meteorological Agency, and we have at some point we are having our salary is delayed for like 3 months, and I can tell you that time, because we're in tune with it. You have petroleum prices at $26 to a barrel, $11 to a barrel at some point. So consistently across that administration slide, the petroleum prices were at perhaps one of the lowest in a 4-year period. I mean, an 8-year period.
Mr. ASEDA, let's look at this. If I may,
a consistently high They have a consistently high GDP growth throughout that period. Now, the person that was in charge or was also part of that economic team was Atiku. So he explains why he had a better plan. So, but what we are seeing now really is that, look, it is never too late for you to make adjustments. Okay, make adjustments, look at these things again and find a way around it. Already we have been talking about it, that the policies are counteracting each other. Of course, it cannot work, even by mere counteraction of okay, there's no liquidity, let's remove liquidity, and then you are pumping liquidity into that system by undertaking some other infrastructure project. So these are things that cannot work, that do not make sense. So what we are saying is that let this government look again at these things. We are praying for them. We want them to succeed, because if they succeed, then it is for everybody. Okay, so again, you see this refinery coming on board and it's trying to sell their product at 75 naira, higher than Dangote refinery. What is the basis for it? We really need to know. So these are the things that these are reasons why somebody like me cannot be excited about this kind of about this development.
Okay, thank you. Let's talk about the commencement of just the 60,000 barrels per day capacity, refining capacity facility. There are people that have asked the question, we have waited this long, almost for 1 year. That's before the years of these refineries being moribund. It was supposed to commence operation last year, December, and we're edging towards December this year. So we can say we've waited for 1 year before the commencement of this refinery. Why do we now have just the smaller capacity, refining capacity facility working and not the entirety of the Port Harcourt refinery, which is 210,000 barrels per day refining capacity? If you can help.
Okay, you know what?
Yeah, go ahead.
You know what? Fixing those refineries costs money. That is basically it. It costs money. Okay, it costs money. So
Mr. Asada, are you still with us?
I'm still with you. Can
okay,
you hear me?
Go ahead. Yes, clear.
Yes. So I said it's because those refineries cost money. To fix it costs money. I don't have the figure for this Harcourt refinery that they've been able to put in place in working order.
Yeah.
But from what I heard is that it seems as if they seem to build a new one from the old one. I don't know how, but I was getting that. But we really need to get more information concerning that. So it is no small investment, and I think, to my mind, that it's because it's no small investment. It will drain the government badly. I
asked that question because they have told us now that the 150,000 barrel per day capacity will commence operation soonest, and people really are not trusting the process because they are asking the questions: how much more are we to wait for the 150,000 refinery? Now, the federal government is talking about the Warri refinery and the Kaduna refinery also to commence operation soonest. But then people believe that they can't trust this government enough to bring that into existence, very soon as they have claimed.
Well, I think the government is also trying to make a point in a way by fixing those refineries, because those refineries have not been fixed. They have not been working through so many administrations in Nigeria. So if Tinubu administration had fixed one, then they could fix the other three. I mean, that is what they want to do. They want to actually be the one to fix it. And I'm telling you, they have the political will to do it. But at what cost? Motivated by what? You see, you can do a good thing, but what is the means of doing that good thing and even maintaining that good thing that you are doing? Okay, so they will want to say, okay, the end. Just as far as I'm concerned, as the finance person, I'm just saying that, look, the interest of Nigeria is better served when this refinery is sold out to private sector to fix and to run.
So you are on for the privatization of these refineries.
I know from what I can see and the direction that this government is moving, they can actually do it. It is not in doubt that they can fix those refineries. I'm telling you, Tinubu will fix those refineries.
Do you consider President Tinubu a jinx breaker or a record breaker? Some people have called him a jinx breaker because we have waited years for these refineries to come on board, and finally they are coming to operation at this time during the administration of President Bola Ahmed Tinubu. So they refer to him as a jinx breaker or a record breaker. Do you see him as such too?
I wish to see him like that. Honestly, I do.
You just said he has the political will. You just said it. You mentioned it.
Yes, now. I did. He has the political will to fix it. And I asked a question, a rhetoric question that you may. At what cost? Okay, at what cost? for me, I'm saying that it can do it. It can be done. Look, if you give the refinery to somebody like me, I will do it. You know, our job really is to bring money into investment. So if somebody, if a private person comes to us and said, look, I need to raise funding for this refinery. You know, that's our job. We will raise that money. Do you understand?
Yeah.
And that refinery will be, it's not just to raise that money. We'll also get involved, you know, bring some other expertise and some other professionals and into it, because whatever money we are giving, that money we must get it back.
All right.
Okay.
You understand?
All right.
Okay. So when we bring in the fund, we also bring expertise also.
All right.
You know,
we are pressed for time, Mr. ASEDA.
So what I'm saying,
okay,
in essence, is that if they give it to an individual and comes to people like us, because they will come to people like us, they will do it. Now, look, this Dangote refinery Dangote had to work with people like us to bring in the fund, to help him to get the fund. And then they've gotten the fund, they've done it. It is not rocket science. This is where investments are being done all over the world.
Yeah.
What I'm saying is that they do not have to do it with government money.
Okay.
That's what I'm saying.
All right. No, point noted and taken. And about, you know, on a lighter note now, giving it to you to manage. We'll have to think about that, actually. And
sorry?
Yeah, on a lighter note, you said if it's given to somebody like you, I said we'll have to have that sit down, you know, to run the refinery if actually you are interested.
Honestly, I'm an investment banker.
I understand. The GMD of the NNPCL,
when I say give it to me, okay,
the president,
give it to my clients. That's what I mean.
Okay.
And then, of course, when our client has projects, it's our project.
It's all right. You might have to pay for marketing because that's exactly what you are doing right now.
Sorry?
But it's okay. It's okay. Thank you very much. We appreciate your time and your take today. And that meeting between the two of us, Mele Kyari, the president, might have to happen, you know, about the turnaround.
I think that guy should be sacked.
Of the it's all right.
We need a new life. I don't know why it's still there.
All right.
Would like to thank you especially, Mr. Ohiolei ASEDA, for your time this morning, your submission, your analysis, your thoughts that you have shared with us and our audience. We appreciate you. Thank you, and enjoy the rest of your day.
Thank you.
All right, that was the conversation this morning with Mr. Ohiolei ASEDA, an investment strategist and financial analyst who joined us from Ibadan. It's all about us interrogating the actions or probably inactions of the government, because they are the one holding the fort for Nigerians. They are taking critical actions, making critical decisions and also choices on behalf of the people. So we have to constantly interrogate what they do or what they do not do. That's the show this morning. You can watch this particular edition on our YouTube channel at Western Spring TV. You can connect with us on Facebook, Instagram, and X at Western Spring Television. My name is Evelyn Ohiolei. Stay tuned for Spring Trends coming right after this broadcast.
And of course, I want to appreciate you for being with us all week, especially our anniversary session, the good wishes, the comment, everything. We are seeing it, and we appreciate you as well. And of course, here the support we get on Money Spring. And then you see this duo again. You know, enjoy the rest of your day and stay blessed. Femi is my name. God bless Nigeria.